Alongside Eric Kane, I'm Austin Price. 2-minute drill following what was I consider a successful Rocky Topalozza on this Saturday. Tennessee with a lot of big timers in, had a chance to meet up with several of them. You had a chance to meet up with Sean Davion Bradley, who is clearly feeling Tennessee a lot.
Yeah, he's feeling Tennessee. He's going to be back for an official visit in June. Said it was a great time being back up here with the coaching staff, hanging out with Caleb Herring, hanging out with Nico Iamaleava, feeling the vibes, the love is kind of how he characterized it. But he was high leaving the campus today. He had a great time.
I'll tell you what, Caleb Herring is a quiet kid, but has learned to work the recruitment of several players. He worked on Rico Walker today. Rico Walker talking highly of Tennessee, talked about getting to meet Caleb Herring for the first time today. He already met Nico the last time he was here, and those two know each other. But it said, he and Caleb hung out and had a chance to just kind of chill, and it wasn't like a sales pitch by Caleb, just kind of getting to know each other, and he really liked that. I think Tennessee's in a pretty good spot with Rico Walker coming out of today. This is the second time he's been here in a month.
Yeah, and another guy that stood out to me was John Slaughter, a guy that Tennessee's been high on for quite some time. Josh Heupel has taken, a notice in John Slaughter, kind of taking that over, a lot of himself. And again, telling me today, speaking with Heupel right before he left, he's saying, hey, whenever I'm ready, they want me to commit, saying that he'll be back for an official visit as well. Might go down to Florida State, might go somewhere else, but Tennessee's very much in it with John Slaughter, as well as Keldrick Falk, who I just came back and talked with here now. Spoke with him earlier this week, saying, MVP of the Rivals Camp a couple of days ago.
But out of the top four that did not include Tennessee.
Yeah, and, came here this weekend with the intent of saying, okay, is Tennessee going to get that final official visit? Wouldn't go as far as to tell me that Tennessee got it, but said Tennessee's looking good in that regard right now once he goes back home and talks with his family.
Christian Conyer, another guy Tennessee is in a good spot with and has been in a good spot with for a while. We'll see if he makes it to July 3rd. He's wanted to come in on his mom's birthday. Going to take that official visit to Kentucky. Going to come back here for an official visit at the end of the month. This month of June setting up big for Tennessee. No commitments coming out of today publicly, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But the number of kids that were here today that probably end up committing to Tennessee, I think that number is 3+.
Oh, I would agree. And again, so just speaking with Caleb Herring, speaking with Ethan Davis, speaking with a couple of these already committed guys, is saying, hey, our role today was just to bring them around, encourage them, say that we're ready, come join the boat, and tell them exactly, the real stuff about Tennessee, stuff that they might not even hear from the coaches. And I think that those type of guys played a huge role in a day like today. And I think as the month of June and July goes on, like you mentioned, the conversations with the commits from today are going to be, making a long way.
Let's talk offensive line. Stanton Ramel, you had a chance to catch up with him. Tennessee going to get an official visit there June 17th.
Tennessee will get an official visit, yes. Wouldn't go as far as to tell us who the other OVs would be. He said he's going to release a top 3,
He's
top 4.
He's going to camp at Alabama.
Going to camp at Alabama, and of course, the family ties there, so that's one to obviously watch on if he becomes a take there. But is going to come back to Tennessee, obviously a tackle that Tennessee likes in this class, and depending on the guys and kind of around him in that board, they like him, and getting him back on campus will be big.
Francis Mawing-Owa. It's like an ing and then an oa.
So no G,
there's
essentially.
No G, there's no g sound. Francis still on his visit. We'll catch up with him tomorrow. He and Nick or Nico. We'll catch up with both those guys tomorrow. Lucas Simmons liking the visit to this point based off people I've spoken with. Bryson Sanders, same thing. And of course Vic Burley also in town. Will leave somewhere in the mid-afternoon area tomorrow as Tennessee tries to make up ground there with Clemson. Anything else stand out? Tamarion Parker told Rob Lewis Tennessee's the leader. Yeah,
I think that's huge, right? Now, Tamarion Parker's a guy that's kind of been, Tennessee was vibing well there early on. They kind of went away, and I think days like today, made up a lot of ground for some guys like that. So, overall today, I think that this is a day we might look back on here in a couple months and say this was a critical day in Tennessee's class and the progression. And I think the commits had just as much of an effort in it as the coaches did today.
Deshaun Bishop was here, from all accounts. The visit was a positive for him today, and for Tennessee in that regard, as they got a chance to kind of spend some time with him, hang out with him, kind of get to know the kid behind the face mask, so to speak. So we'll have more updates throughout the night. We'll have a full breakdown of everybody. We'll hear from everybody. He's Eric Kane. I'm Austin Price. 2-minute drill. Tennessee, a very successful Rocky Topalozza.